DerbyNation.tv is your one-stop shop for your Demolition Derby pay-per-view needs. With a schedule like no other, you can catch all the shows you want to watch at the touch of a button from the comfort of your living room without leaving your house. But pay-per-view derbies aren't the only thing that they can get you. You can also carry a monthly subscription to watch the ever-growing Derby Builds, where you get all the behind-the-scenes action on different build processes with the Derby Builds team, including team show cars and even some national-level youth builds.
And if you can't make it to that big show in person, go ahead, host that shop watch party, and let DerbyNation.tv bring excitement of Demolition Derby action straight to your shop live on your TV. Ladies and gentlemen, Hard Nosed Derby Podcast. Derek, where are we at?
Remote again. How about 2 weeks in a row, boys and girls?
They're going to get used to it.
For a minute. It is the prelude to the Bourbon Beatdown. Louisville, Kentucky. Twisted Metal Motorsports.
First
Freedom
time back
Hall.
in there in a minute.
Since 2019, I believe. 2019. We had our guest on a couple months ago, but we kind of had an opportunity to come on over, talk to them.
We want to get over here in a minute.
Because they are going.
Yeah.
Traffic cone himself, Dale Colbert, what's up?
How's it going?
We're in your neck of the woods now. Nape of the neck or whatever they call it.
Something like that.
Well, we got a tour of the shop. Got to see what he's taking.
Yep.
Bare frame in the garage, you seen that?
Yep.
Yeah, just like Jeremy's Monty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
have to call him up after this to figure out how to get that link in on that Monte Carlo frame.
If anybody knows Jeremy, they had to know we were throwing so much bullshit out. It's not funny.
Thanks for letting me know after buying that car.
That nice, pretty green one?
Yeah.
That's in that shop? Where are you going?
Bourbon Beatdown.
What
Leaving out
class?
Friday morning.
What class?
The old school, I think it's called.
Let's dive into that a little bit, because when we were talking with Robbie, his street stock is completely different than our area street stock.
In our area. Right. I mean, night and day difference.
So how you like the old school rule compared to what you're so used to running around here?
I kind of like them. I can run complete drivetrain or run everything from pedal steering, so it's a little more than some stock classes.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty close to the stock class I normally run with DLS, Zaire, and Workmeister, but then it's more than some of the other stock classes I run. But I like it. You can run any rear end. You can have a skeleton transmission brace or an ultra bell, lower engine cradle with pulley protector, and fabricated bumper. No pointies.
See, those are good rules, though.
But that right there is close to that, what we were talking about.
Yeah,
Our stock.
Yeah. The stock that we're used to.
Yes.
The replica bumper thing for me is huge.
Correct.
Replica bumper is a no-brainer. Every promoter should allow that, because I got a 76 fabricated bumper where for half the price I can go buy a 76 actual bumper.
Right.
And junk that piece of shit in one night.
Yeah.
Junk.
But you know how many of those I've seen inverted? Seriously.
Yes.
My
Well,
Vegas car from 19 was out there. I mean, that front bumper was inverted.
And you take a Chrysler Pointy, you'll end up folding them. They'll start rocking up on you. And we know what the price of those are.
A lot.
Well, it's like our local rules will allow a Chrysler Pointy, but it won't allow a Chrysler Pointy replica. It makes no sense to me. Zaire and Cody changed that.
As they should.
Sorry, Michael, I want to say something right now, but I'm not going to.
Did the rule set, did that influence your decision on your car? Because we know what you usually run.
I had a car here, and it's a 73 Pontiac Catalina. I've had it sitting here for 5 or 6 years, just want to get rid of it. And I'd probably be more comfortable in a Ford with 50 cars piled on the track. I could maneuver a little better, and I feel like I could pick this thing apart, but...
Well, I think with your patience, I think you'll be fine unless you take a wonky ass shot.
Right.
I think that's some of what this Derby is going to take. I think it's going to take a little patience. Because I would say the first 5-10 minutes of that feature is going to be just crazy.
Yeah.
And then I think it'll slow back down for a minute. And then I would say whenever you get down to that last 10-15 of that class, it'll be...
I ran there in 2019, or what was it, 18 or 19?
19, I think, was the last year they had it.
Well, Casey was it 2018? Thanks, Casey. Because Casey was 7 months pregnant with Everett, and I ended up about getting flipped over, so Everett was just about born in Freedom Hall. But
the plug almost went bye-bye, the water almost broke.
But down there on that last one, they put 40 cars on the track, and at the beginning, it was just a slow go pace or whatever. I mean, because you didn't have room to move. I mean, I probably went forward and back for 15 minutes, and I got bored. And
See, I can't handle that shit.
See, I would get bored, and I would venture out and tour the whole track or whatever. And then that was the year that everybody got stuck down there. So
yeah,
I think I was the only car in our class from Missouri, and I ended up taking like 10th or something, but I got flipped. And then when I come back down on my wheels, I was stuck and brought home a perfect car. But
well, that's what I like, is because, you know, that the build that you just explained that you're taking, you can bring that home in case that dumb shit does happen.
Right.
You know,
And you can run that car.
Yeah, and then you don't have to do
like we are
4
allowed
million
hump
fucking
plates
changes
on down there for this class or whatever, which is kind of unique. This is my 30th year Derby. It's my first set of hump plates.
Really?
Yeah. I've always ran the stocker build. That's what I like about Robbie and his Twisted Metal at the stocker classes. 'Cause I think that's what people in the stands want to see, how screwed up a car can get and still truck around.
They do. And that's why I kind of like the direction Robbie's taking this stuff, because it's giving that national level show vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But you're getting that hometown, you know, around you stocker build. And it's given the guys that like those stock builds, it's given them a platform to run on.
Right.
Whereas you're not prime time whenever you go to Blizzard Bash or Bristol, or you know, because they're mods. I mean,
right.
you know, mods and the light welds. That's what everybody's going to. That's what they're showcasing.
I enjoy watching some of the harder cars, but sometimes they can run all night and they're still driving.
It pisses me off when
they
they're going
look
out there and nobody's got any steering.
Right.
That's the. I mean, that's what's going to happen. Who has the steering the longest?
Yeah.
That's what Blizzard Bash used to be when Sam had it. It would showcase literally every class of Derby, from hobo big cars to hobo mini cars.
And that was
trucks.
one of my favorite classes to run out there.
And I liked going out there just to watch all the different classes that you don't see every time. Now it's turned into team show.
Well, it's outlaw and then mod and then light mod.
Mm-hmm. Then
And then
street
they got
mod.
rid of the hobo class.
Yeah.
It sells out too quick, I guess.
Yeah. You see that a lot. They're like, oh man, that class is working way too good. Let's get rid of it.
Let's get rid of it.
Let's run a mod class. We have trouble filling.
Yeah. Hey, we're going to get rid of the stock class. We're going to add another mod class. We haven't filled the first one. But we're going to add a mod class.
The show's March 1st, and here it is. February 23rd. You can probably get on their website and get a mod spot still.
You can.
Yeah.
I know
You can for Carnage. But you can.
But stock class sells out in 30 seconds, so let's get rid of the class.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of the promoters have realized that. You know, you've got Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
If his shit fills up, he's like, we'll just add another one.
Yeah, well, I know Sam.
Look at Sam.
Yeah.
And
There's 3.
Yeah.
Wednesday,
and I keep
Thursday,
seeing
and Saturday.
spots pop up for that. It has taken everything inside of me not to be like, I'm going to have that.
Which is crazy because it was 2018 probably that the hobo class and Blizzard Bash was having a hard time filling up. I remember talking to Candace that day, and there were spots left, and I was calling around to everybody I knew trying to fill a spot. It's still filled in the same day, but it's not like it sells out in 30 seconds now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which I got a spot. That was 18. That was the year I ran out there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a good time. There were so many people from Missouri out there.
Yeah.
Well, Missouri won it.
And I lost steering.
I lost transmission.
What was that, Steven?
Sky high then.
What was that? Lost
Dale
transmission?
was talking. I know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Some of that Mopar loving.
We are at Casey's house. I will sick her on you. We know what she's capable of.
She's sitting behind you.
Did you wear your cup?
Just keep waiting to catch some scissors in the back of the head.
She is over there cutting on some shit. Steven's beard, gone. So, last time we talked to you, we talked about some Bristol stuff. Now, first team show you'd ever ran, ever, is that, are you going to keep that trait of staying away from them, or is that something that you kind of pulled you in a little bit?
No, I liked it.
Well, he had really good luck with that one. Like, I mean,
old partner George helped me out, and I like the team show aspect just because it gives you the motivation that sometimes I lack. I'm a last minute builder, but
hold on, he says last minute builder. You run like 14 derbies in like fucking 7 weeks or something stupid like that. So how can you say lack of motivation?
I find motivation about a week before.
Steven has been hanging out with Dale.
But with the team show aspect, I mean, you got a partner you can't let down, so couldn't let old George down there at Bristol, and because I was even behind on that, because I took a couple weeks off after running the 4 straight weeks in July,
mm-hmm.
and then the tow truck was down a weekend, so I didn't feel like moving cars, so I took another week off, and then brought a car in, stripped it out, and found a rust hole. And
that's the same excuses I had.
Well, the reason I did ask that is we know you're on Facebook. The Southern Number 9 Memorial Tour have kind of launched a team show for Pleasant Hill at the end of September.
Pre-runs.
Pre-runs are allowed. They have their hobo stock build.
I was going to talk to him about this.
yeah.
So you figure go ahead and grab him now before Twisted Tea can get him on the phone.
I have to because you're
I'll weigh my options for a week. This airs on Thursday. No,
you have 5 days.
Yeah,
I tried to grab him for Bristol.
I know. You fucked around and let George grab him up.
Well, then I thought they were going to cancel his class, and I was like, hey, I got another shot.
Well, see, I was wanting to run the lighter class, and then I didn't like all the... Because you all had to run stock drive shafts and everything, right?
Well, yes and no. I learned some stuff. There was 2 cars down there with sliders on them.
But they were factory.
They were factory sliders. And they were both running pinion brakes. Yeah. I learned some stuff. And like I said, you never know everything.
Right. Yeah, I'd be interested. And that's close to home. And then
correct.
Austin
that's kind of why I said something.
Yeah. And I like seeing Austin that show grow over there, and it grows every year.
Yeah. Well, and it's for a good cause. I mean, they're still donating the shit out of money that comes from that thing.
And then they've got this 90s class.
Yeah.
You know, from back in the day, knock the windows out, put change some doors, a little bit of a cage, and get it the fuck on.
Old George Sims rules pretty much.
Yep. Yeah. I think we're going to see a lot of possible old school retired veterans. That's just got a little.
And I think that would be cool. I almost think they ought to put an age limit on
Like 30 plus.
on that night. You know, people that were there, you know, that got to see that.
Like a 30, 35 plus.
Because that's what I grew up like watching. Like that's the first shows that I ever went to were George Sims shows.
Yeah, this is my 30th year, and my dad ran George Sims shows before that, the old auto race promotions. And I found a set of rules not too long ago. I was reading them, and I was like, man, I could pick them apart today.
Right. Well, people didn't do that then.
Right.
I mean, they did. You had the people that pushed the rules,
Right.
But it was like blatant shit.
Like there was 100
Concrete
cars. At Troy, there was 100 cars, and there was probably 10 people that went there to win. Where
Yeah.
And then the other 90 were just there to go out and just junk shit.
I was just there to go hit somebody at 40 mile an hour.
But you think back whenever
Stephen, he
people-
said 40, not 4.
yeah, that worked out for me.
As long as you didn't back into him.
I know shit.
You could have used that hump plate on your.
Yes, you could have.
Yeah. Hell, I could
in
have
the
used some
burn.
9 wire. But yeah, I think that show's going to be pretty badass, really. Especially if he throws his team show together, 90s class. People like change. People
Then
like
the
new
9,
stuff.
then the 9 class.
The 9 class is going to get wild anyway because you know who's going to run it.
Right.
I mean, you can already. I bet you can pick 10 people right now that you'll see in that class.
Yeah, because am I correct to the statement? Did I see pre-runs are allowed on the 9 class for this year?
believe so.
Because they weren't last year
Right.
because it was a new rule set. So
Close enough. I might bring 2 cars.
it is. It is. I mean, that Monte Carlo, you need someplace to run
Right.
it.
I got to go to Salisbury and watch Jerry run that and get some tips and tricks off of him. That's going to be a good show, too.
It is. I hope that everybody that is signed up shows up. Well, that's not the only one. I've talked to a couple other people.
Let's just hope.
I'm just going for the first heat of the night.
That is going to be fun to watch.
Old partner George and Jake Reed against Jeremy Baker and Lane.
Yeah.
I think that one's going to separate the men from the boys in a hurry.
Somebody's going to jump coming out of that because they've all 4 of those guys have reliable, good setups.
Yes. Yeah.
And they
So-
all have their type of build where you know what Jake Reed's going to build.
Yep.
And George's niche is 98 to 02.
Yep.
And then I think Lane says he's bringing a Pinto.
Right.
Jeremy's got his
Pacer.
I
84
don't know how-
Lincoln on a Monte Carlo body.
I don't know how many people remember this, but I watched Jake Reed go against the Pinto wagon one time.
Yep. A nasty, cheated up mod Pinto wagon.
Yeah, that was at Madison, and that was insane.
Homeboy knew what was fitting on happening
Uh-huh.
because he was getting ready to get the entire nose of that wagon
Uh-huh.
all up in the left front. Oh, Jay Creed stood on that son
Yes,
of a
he
bitch and
did.
it started hopping, and old boy looked over and he was
He was
like,
like,
not
not
happening.
today.
No.
So would not be the first Pinto wagon.
I like
take an
watching
ass
Jake
whooping.
Reed and R&R shows where you could put those 4 plates on every corner of the car.
Oh, yeah.
They built some hard-ass cars.
Oh, yes.
Well, that's
Yes.
whenever you'd see him come out there, that Cadillac would be completely straight. He'd come up about 3 or 4 inches.
And then stop.
That was it.
Him and old Leroy, they were.
Yeah.
Yep. Then they knocked the ass plumb off of the caddy, which is
Which old
Pretty
Leroy,
normal.
man, I've watched. You talk about metric GMs. I've watched
Yes.
that dude.
yeah. What the hell? Why didn't you get a hold of him before Bristol?
I knew what was going to happen. Actually, I got a lot farther than I,
I
thought I
ran
was going to.
nothing but GMs up until 2016, 17. That's when I switched over to Fords.
I will never run another one.
Metric.
Right.
Yeah, these were all metric. I had the old 80s Chevy wagons.
These people have found something in them that I could not find.
Notch.
If I ever get another one, I'm just going to cut the trunk off of it.
There's 42 dimples between the hump and the bumper bracket.
I would notch them every run. I would start out with 2 notches and then give it a third notch, fourth notch. I mean, that would scorpion tail that back end of every GM I've ever ran. But then you can still do all that, pre-bend it, and then every once in a while, I'll plow the dirt.
Without a doubt, the pre-bend helps. You wouldn't have done what you did.
Right. Well, I couldn't. I mean, there's no pre-bending.
Correct.
I tilted the bumper and shit. I did everything that I could with what I had.
Try to help.
And if you would have seen the cuts that I made on the back of that thing, like, it was way over the top. Because everybody I talked to, they were like, whenever you think you've got it notched,
go some more out of it. Go some more.
Yeah, Dale Wright and them guys taught me a lot. Him and Mitch Phelan. I thought I had it figured out, and then they're like, "Oh, you need to do this." Well, then I started doing that, and I was like, "Uh-oh, found something here."
Well, that's the thing around home is that not very many people really ran the metric stuff.
Right.
You know, because when I kind of started, you know, hanging out with the Derby guys, you know, you're looking 74, 5.6 Impalas, Buicks, old, you know, a lot of wagons, and it's just not. They were never had any relevancy.
Well, in 2008, the Troy local show, they had where you had to run. I think it was 80 newer cars, and then you had GM motor and GM cars, or whatever. So I always had a Chevy 350, so I always ran
Correct.
that. And those, me and my brother always ran GM metrics, and there was some guys run the Fords, whatever, which they were tougher, but the 350 was outlasting them.
The old tried and true.
That was when that was when they kind of broke it down to stock class and modified or street stock, limited weld, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm. All the stock.
Right. Flat stock, round stock.
So, what are do you have any anticipations going into Louisville?
It better be to win.
Because this thing will actually launch Thursday, and we'll all be on the road on Friday.
There'll be a lot of guys that listen to this on the way down there.
I hope. I hope.
I have no expectations. They haven't posted a driver's list, so last time I was the only driver from Missouri. So this time, I hope there's a few more Missouri boys. I've heard there's quite a few Kentucky guys, and which I ran with a lot of guys down there. I didn't know any of them before, and I think me and Kenny Madley was one that kind of ended up side by side running back and forth. I never met him before we got out there, and just happened to be that guy that was by my side or whatever. And then that year, Mad Mike ran down there and hooked up with him. I was like, hey, we're only 9 Kentucky guys here, so maybe we should try to run together. And, well, Mad Mike did Mad Mike things and sent it from the rip. The first 30 seconds of the show, I was on top of the enforcer car right at the entrance. And then there was I think there was 13 rollovers in that race or whatever, and I was one of them.
We had talked about that when we were talking to Robbie, and once he said Krista Florian was going to be coming in 2 days before, digging the dirt directly out of the ground, taking it in. I kind of said, I don't think that you're going to have that issue.
No.
As little, you know, I remember 18 and 19, the track was just, it was really sandy. There was no compaction to it. I don't think if I had to bet $100, you're not going to have that issue.
Right. And the last
Not
time,
with the dirt guy on this one.
No.
a lot of people don't know too. On the last time we ran down there, we got inspected. They started inspection at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. I was one of the first cars in there, and I think Gage Sumner and I don't remember. There was a couple other guys that were
Gage
in there
was there.
first.
Jason
Yep.
Brzezinski was
Yep,
there.
Brzezinski.
Yep.
And well, anyway, we were inside. They were doing the inspection. There's a row around the track where you drive in and do the inspection. That was where they're going to line everybody up. Well, then they evacuated the building for a gas leak. So then they made us all leave there. And then we got inspected on the baseball field that year. Well, part of the problem for John Peck and his guys with Top Dog, I think, that put it on, they weren't able to work the track because they didn't open the building back up until 3 or 4 o'clock, like an hour or two before showtime, and they went in there and started working on it. But
See, that would be a pain in the ass. Right there.
Word. You got to do everything you need to do in 2 hours. That's when you just kind of throw your hat
But
up
then,
and say, not happening.
The mistake they made is running all those big cars first, the 20,000 to win or whatever it was, pro mods or whatever they were called then. They ran them first, and by the time we got to run ours, our class ran last, and the track was a lot better, but they should have ran them smaller cars first, let that track pack down, and then do their figure 8 race, and then run their vans or whatever else down there to pack that track, because we were digging, and then you'd have to watch it punch and then take off because you would just bury yourself.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, the thing about you is really, I mean, you've run a lot of places. Not many times are you going to go as far as you do and really have somebody that you know for a fact is going to be running with you. I mean, does that change the mentality and everything when you go down there, or is it just going there to just do your shit?
Kind of nice where I can go out there and hit whoever I want and not worry about it, because that's the other thing. I like to move around the track. I don't get in all little petty games. I mean, if somebody keeps messing with me, I'll just either junk my shit or junk theirs.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
If you're going to be competitive, you can't do that. I mean, you got to just move on. I stay pretty cool in the car. I don't get too fired up. It's happened occasionally. A lot of times, like Steve was saying earlier, these big shows, they might start as a snail's pace or whatever, and then somebody gets bored and turns it up. Well, then everybody else thinks it's time to turn it up, and then that pace will change back to everybody just doing their thing, forward and back, making their hits.
Well, I know you've done it. I mean, because I have. You made a couple real hard hits, and you look up and you're like, that's moving. better pull back.
Better wait a moment.
Yeah, but it's just like NASCAR. All the cars get in line watching Daytona, and then somebody gets bored of just riding around and jump out of line, and then everybody else thinks it's time to move too, and then the big one happens. Or in our case, it gets turned up for a few minutes. Everybody's like, dang, there's still 25 cars out here. It's time to cool the jets for a little bit.
Yeah. Which I wish that I would have looked a little deeper into the rules for Bourbon Beatdown, because I would have signed up for that class.
Well, the problem is that it happened so fast.
It did.
I mean, we've said it before. He opened up 40 spots. It sold out so fast. Instead of adding another class to every class, that sold out so fast.
Well, it confused me because it was Eastern time, I think, and I was thinking Central time. So I got on there, I was like, shit, it's sold out. I was like,
yep.
And then they opened up the other spots, and I got a spot or whatever.
I mean, we've talked about it. There's other
They
promoters.
need to do all that on like my
Steven time.
Yeah, Steven's time. You know, other promoters, instead of adding more spots, they'll just add a whole nother class. We just said it. You know, Sam Williams for UD, Taylor
Which
Feldkamp
this is a
for Derby
little
Icon.
different situation.
Correct.
You couldn't
So
because of the time.
yes, the other shows that we're talking about are multiple days, 2, 3, 4 days. And instead of doing that, Robbie said, let's just add 10 more spots to each one, and I think we'll be good.
Yeah. Which I think
and
is
then
a good call.
he sold them son of a bitches out in another 6 seconds or something. So,
And I kind of like the one-day show because
Me too.
It's a lot cheaper instead of going to Blizzard Bash and dropping $150 a piece for the family for pit passes or whatever. I mean, it's a $35 ticket or $30 ticket. I don't even know what it is, and then no pit pass required.
yes.
Well, and the concert.
Yes. And now,
Power Wheels.
Power Wheels.
And I like the assigned seating, so Casey don't have to go stand in line for 3 hours for the show. To
She
go.
just goes right to her seat.
Yeah, it goes right to her
As
seat.
soon as it's go time, as soon as, you know, do whatever, and you're sitting right next to him.
I'm sitting on her lap.
I think she wants to kill you anyways. So let's
Where she went to.
probably to sharpen her scissors.
Right.
But that is the cool part. You don't have to search. You just
Well, how many times-
we're on 117, row 3, seat 3 and 4.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have you seen it at Blizzard Bash? All the women get sent.
Right.
Oh
there.
yes, go save seats.
Yep.
There's fucking blankets and coats and shoes and
Casey's
slippers
like,
and shit.
You're not running tonight, so you're going to stay in line. Well, that's freaking horrible.
I just forgot I got to do something
That's
in
a
my car.
bad fucking idea.
Or just use driver's insurance to go in there a few minutes early.
Right.
Then I got to carry blankets and do all that, so I don't want to do that either.
So,
I'm anxious to go down there. Like, they just had the tractor pull.
yes,
Was that 2 weeks ago?
last week.
Last week?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just had that down there.
Yeah, we had a good time down there. We went down there last time, and of course, I didn't book anything, so we got down there to pick a hotel. So me and my brother got on there, picked this real nice hotel, and showed up there, and it was pretty rough. I was like, I'm not parking my car here.
Nope.
Blood on the wall and clothes in the hallway. We ended up staying there, but Casey didn't like it, and then we ended up upgrading to the Taj Mahal for the next night. So instead of paying my $70 a night, I think I paid $200 a night or whatever. But she was happy, and it was all worth it.
Happy wife, happy life.
Because then I had an open trailer, so I was going to go out there and sleep in my car. Louisville's, you get in some of the areas, it's pretty rough. But then the other parts of the town are amazing.
Yes. So we're going to, the running orders and tech time and everything is out.
Yep. Well, I've got the run order right here. And it looks like the MWFA class is going to run first.
Yep.
Mowers.
There's like 48 mowers.
Yeah. So if anybody needs their yard mowed,
Don't,
nobody's going to be able to mow their yard now.
I'm
50
thinking,
people right there.
thinking after this, there's going to be a shitload of people that need their yard mowed because they're going to jump 48 of them.
Street stock. Minivans, trucks, and SUVs.
Yep.
And then filler class. I mean, mini cars. And then the old school class.
Yes.
Prime time and prime time.
Such a dick. Filler class.
Concert starts at 3:30.
Yep.
And then Derby action.
That's
starts at
right.
5.
That is right. One thing that Twisted Metal is doing is that there's actually no real pit passes.
No, you
Right.
don't have to have a pit pass.
Yeah, so you can go to the vendor hall. You can do whatever you need to do. You just can't go take your seat until 3:30.
Right.
You know, and then once that happens, and while you're working on your shit, trying to get it to pass tech and all that stuff, you know,
Hopefully I'm teched in Friday night. I don't touch that car until
That's what I'm talking about.
that is the bonus. They're actually doing it
1 to 6 on
1 to
Friday.
6 on Friday.
If you pass inspection, you get 2 additional Nightmare spots.
Then it'll
Gross.
go into impound inside.
impound
You can
and-
tarp your shit
I
up
hate
if you
that
want.
shit.
What, 9-wire?
Yes.
It's gay grenades.
That shit is terrible.
But you love it.
No, I don't.
It'd be kind of nice to wake up Saturday morning and not have to touch a car until
That's what I'm talking
Correct.
about.
3
We can
o'clock
get
or
everybody
whatever before
together.
show.
We'll let Casey sleep. We'll go eat breakfast.
right. We were going to be hungover from the night before.
That's what I'm talking about.
I won't.
We'll see.
We got to get there, fool.
Well, we can get down there. We can drink after we get down there.
I might be Lone Ranger going down there because Everett wants to play basketball Saturday morning. And they
How?
come down.
No. How
But then
can
he'll
the
be down
Bristol Power Wheel champion not get there with you early enough to make sure he's good to go for Saturday to defend his title in Kentucky?
He's
No,
basketball
you
MVP, football MVP.
You just
He's
you
just
just
a
said
little
it.
man.
The Bristol champion shows up and drives. That's somebody else's.
Yeah, it's like
That's somebody else's responsibility to get
you
that
think
tacked
Dale
in.
Jr. shows up the night before a race.
You think he takes his car in? No.
Dad, take it through.
He gets out, puts a helmet on, some gloves, and runs it.
We're waiting on some new parts. He's got a fresh frame in the garage right now, so hopefully they all show up, or we're gonna be running the Bristol.
It looked cheated to me.
Well, he got a new switch box.
Yep.
We do know that.
Yeah, Everett's got a shifter, fabricated bumper, simplified wire harness. He's got it going on. Mansfield Road Sports hooked me up.
I'd have never thought in a million years.
And then Justin Broadhead hooked him up. Wait till you see, it's going to have full door wraps all the way around.
He doesn't have our face on the side of it, does he? Because if he does, he's going to be in for a rude awakening. Well, that's for defense only. He'll be fine. He'll be fine on that part. Man, while we're here, we need to take us a little commercial break. We'll be right back with you. JM Race Engines is a new business in north central Missouri that have you covered from top to bottom for all your engine needs. Purpose-built engines with the correct amount of clearance will get you to the end of any show, whether it's your local shows or on the national level, where you can't be let down by your equipment. With top-level professional machine work to all engines, your choice of build is totally up to you. JM Race Engines will give you the confidence to push your equipment to the max while giving you your preferred horsepower to boot. From LS builds all the way to your exotic level small blocks that your imagination can only dream of, they have you covered.
But it doesn't stop there. They are also a speed shop that carries a variety of heads, carburetors, intakes, plug wires, helmets, and other safety equipment, and the best VP fuel on the market today to take you to the top. So if you're wanting mild build to wild build, let JM Race Engines help take you there. Since Justin has been on board with us at Hard Nose, we have figured out how much Broadhead Decals means to the sport of demolition derby. His great quality parts are seen from coast to coast and everywhere in between.
But he can do more than just derby products. Your everyday business may need some pep in its step with new banners or stickers. And just give him an idea and let him run with it. Whether it's business related or just want to look badass in the winner circle, let Broadhead Decals work for you.
We do. Triple B's Tees offer custom shirts and logo designs for all your apparel and merchandise needs, offering a variety of shirts, hats, hoodies, tumblers, and koozies. Triple B's will work with you one-on-one to personalize and perfect your logo. With over 5 years in the business, 20 years in the sport, they live for demolition derby.
Chunk and his crew can bring your imagination to realization with zero limitations. So for all your badass tees, choose Triple B's. Dude.
Hey, let's break off and do a Tales from the Trailer real quick.
We got a couple. We got a really long one.
Let's do that one.
Want to do this one? So this is from some of our Utah peeps. We were pimping Mr. Jackson Johnson several episodes ago. You know how you get these really cheap cars and some cookies and all that good stuff.
We found out how he's doing.
So here we go. So one day I picked a clamshell wagon in one of my honey holes, shared a picture, and I got a message from a guy I didn't know saying he had one just like the one I picked up. Keep in mind I was 18 at the time with very little car buying experience. That being said, I just figured it was your typical person thinking their metric wagon is the same thing as a clamshell. He sent me a picture, and it was damn near a spotless 73 Impala wagon. I'm talking there was a 1 inch of rust, and that was it. But it was in the middle of nowhere. The guy would not tell me where it was. All he told me, I bought a truck from the same guy for him to have. I could take the wagon home. Finally got to tell me a rough location, 15 miles off so-and-so town. I got on Google Earth and drew a 15-mile range circle and started looking. A couple days later, after a couple sleepless nights and long days of searching, including my brother's helping, we found it finally. It was literally in the middle of nowhere. It wasn't your average clamshell from Google Earth. It didn't have the V in the roof showing like the clamshells do from the sky. So it looked just like your average Suburban, or, you could see everywhere. So now that we had thought we found the wagon, I called my dad. I am fortunate enough to have a dad who has a plane and loves to fly. At the time, I was working for my dad, and it was in the middle of winter. You can imagine hard to convince him we should be go flying down south instead of freezing our asses off in the snow. So we flew down and found the cars to confirm that they were where we found them and to scout out the area for more cars. Come to find out, it was in the heart of a reservation.
And I've told you about this.
Come to find out, there was a spotless 72 Granville, 80s Cordoba, and a 70s Roscoe in the same yard. It was hard to wipe the smile off my face after finding what we had found. We flew back and started to make a plan on when we can go get the cars. It was all lined out for us to go that weekend, and it was a hard couple days till then. We woke up at 4 in the morning to make our 10-hour trek to where the cars were at. We finally made it to the cars. We didn't have long till the sun would set, and let's just say it was sketchy. We got the wagon loaded and saw the owner again. After being freaked out about where we were, I thought it was a great idea to talk to the guy about the Granville. It was a hard bargain, but he finally settled with the price of $100. At the time, we only had a single car trailer, so I handed the man a $100 bill, and we left with no turning back. We were a couple hours away on our trek back, and Google Maps recommended a different road to take home, but after a little digging, we found a road that gave us a 2-hour shortcut. And I was sitting in the back seat, not knowing what road my dad was going to take us, me and my brothers on. If you get a second, Google Moki Dugway. It leads into the road on the show from Forrest Gump. We pulled up to the base of a 1,200-foot tall mountain with an 11% grade up the whole thing. Also at the bottom, there was a trailer not recommended sign, but that did not stop my dad. We drove up that road with a couple stops to look at the view of where we were at and to take some pictures. Safe to say everyone but my dad thought we were going to die, but we made it. Ended up making it home later that night. I sold Bryce Lanou the wagon months later. The Granville is a whole different story, but I now own it personally, and it is planning to be ran at Heber, Utah 2026. Nice. Hope to see you guys in Utah this next year. So you go from a Tales from the Trailer to Google Earth to a plane ride to locate said cars. Moki Dugway, and if anybody is remembering in Forrest Gump, it is the long mountain run where he says, "I think I'm done now."
I'm tired.
That is that, right? So that's
that was me after Bristol.
No! Home, James. So, you got one. We didn't get to do any on last week's with Jeremy and Lane and Tucker, so we should call it back up.
You want me to do the Zach McManaway?
Yeah.
All right. Tales from the Trailer. My brother had a Camry laying around, and he decided he was going to run the Bone Stock Derby at the local fair near us in central Kentucky. He talked me into building a car and running with him. The problem was, nothing I currently owned would pass stock, and I needed a car. We both searched high and low for something to come up with, and came up with absolutely jack shit. With about a week left before the show, I found a 91 Cavalier about 3 hours one direction from us. Guy wanted $500 for it as it was a running driving car. A little steep for a cabbie, but I was a little desperate. While we're on the phone with the guy, he keeps mentioning he needs to clean the car out. He said it at least 4 times. I have a feeling we probably need to remember that part. I hooked up to the trailer and showed up at my brother's job right as he was getting off. I conned him into riding with me and we rolled out. We finally show up about 30 minutes before dark. The car is located somewhere that resembles the wonderful whites of West Virginia. So I don't know if anybody's seen that YouTube series, but it is hill people. Yeah, big time. We reluctantly got out of the truck to look at what had to be the rustiest piece of shit I've ever laid eyes on. It's got no rockers. The rear floor was held together by carpet. The front seat was busted and laid back like flat in the back seat. Now the real bad part was this car he cleaned out, that's in quotations. It was so full of trash you couldn't see the floor. The bitch had empty, open tuna cans everywhere. Open ice cream jugs with melted ice cream molded in them, all sorts of nasty clothes. In the trunk, it had a busted open bag of fertilizer. The piece of shit stunk to hell.
I can smell it already.
I'm looking this thing over and realize the guy is a few crayons short of a whole box. But like I said, I was desperate. I told the dude I'd give him $250 for it just so I didn't have to go home with an empty trailer after all that driving. The car was in such bad shape, I almost couldn't be mad about it. It was damn near comical. We loaded it up and left out of there just to run out of gas 3 miles down the road in the dark. I can't seem to buy a truck with a working fuel gauge. We cut the fuel line on the Cavy, turned the key on, and tried to pump gas into a Gatorade bottle just to find that the bitch was out of gas too. After walking 3/4 of a mile to get gas, we filled the truck up, got a crave case from White Castle, and shagged ass back home. I paid the neighbor kid to clean and strip the car. All of this effort just to get taken for a ride over the wall for the first time ever in my derby career. Definitely the craziest time I've had getting a car, and now I've got a half-spent, rusty-ass Cavalier that kind of stinks.
I want to ask his neighbor kid a question of what that dude paid to clean that nasty son of a bitch out.
I would have been out as soon as I seen the tuna cans and the molded ice cream jugs.
So now we're talking dead carp and molded
Moldy
milk.
Yeah. Well, don't forget about the bag of shit that was busted open in the trunk, too.
He had like all the accoutrements of just disgustingness.
And the running out of fuel would be the icing on it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would be just a kick in the nuts.
Those keep getting better.
Yeah, I think we got one or two maybe for next week.
Yep. Yeah, because I've got one saved on the old Snapchat.
Yep.
Well, back to this. Let's get into some builds. Who you got here with you, Dale?
Got my buddy Dave Meyer. Always comes out, helps me out on my cars, and been helping me for probably 10 years now.
17.
Or probably 17 years now.
Holy shit.
This is year 30. He always there, gives me a hand. If it's the night before Derby and I don't leave the shop till 4 a.m., Dave's right there by me.
And see that we've talked about stuff like that before. It seems like everybody we talk to
Has got one of them dudes.
has a Dave.
Yep. That's a Dave, yeah.
Yep, he helps chase out. Helps. Always there when we need him.
When I went to Troy
Yep,
and
he
came
was
to
there.
watch, he was right there with both your guys. Never left side, walked up with Tech, with you. And we all bullshitted about how bad the Tech was going to be.
Right.
And see, we've talked about that stuff before. Like, I've got a cousin that has zero interest in running a car, but loves working on it.
That's the way Kurt is now. My brother Kurt's been helping me on this Bourbon Beatdown build, and he's running circle track cars now, but still enjoys building derby cars. He wishes I would start a little sooner on them. So me and Kurt left the shop at think 2 a.m. last night, and so
Yuck.
It do be like that, man. Before Bristol, that was the most hours I'd ever put in on a car consecutively. It was every night that I was home from work, we were in the shop till 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning.
One of them mod cars
No,
in like a month.
absolutely not.
yeah, without
It sucks.
Dave and Kurt helped me on this car. I wouldn't even get her done because I was too busy going to Chiefs games in January on weekends instead of working on Derby cars.
Well, that's what happens when, they should have three-peated, but they didn't.
They shit the bed on me.
They did shit the entire bed, frame and all.
What was that? What happened?
Hey, this non-football lover sitting right next to me has been to a Chiefs game, and I haven't.
Yeah. Him and his boy rode up with us this year.
That's because you're a tight ass.
No, I would. Well, I am a tight ass. Yeah.
Because I promise you, I could have found somewhere else to put that money. Rather than not saying I didn't have fun. I'm just saying.
And he got to go with Casey.
And you bought Christmas on the way home.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, before the game.
Yeah.
That was his number one priority of the weekend.
Yeah. Casey actually helped me pick that
Pick
up.
it out.
Yeah.
And we got him a game ball on the way home.
My son's still packing that thing around. We was in a traffic jam on 70. There was a ball sitting on the side of the road. Dale didn't even get out of the car.
Just open it up and
snag
it.
Still putting along.
Well, pulling out of there, I'm sure you're not
Got to see
going
the
real
Casey
fast.
Wolf.
No, if you go, you need to go with Dale because we didn't have to wait in line.
You got a few shortcuts. Right
These shortcuts.
Yeah, he was like, just stay behind me. Stay
We're not
close.
sheep. We don't get in line like we're supposed to.
We might have done some curb hopping and whatnot.
Oh, it's just curb hopping. You've done dumber shit, I promise.
Easy now. So, as far as this build for Bourbon Beatdown, have you run into any snags on it, or has it been pretty cut and dry? Or
Been pretty smooth, except I, of course, waited the last minute to order my door skins and hump plates and other plates.
Hey, Zer, hurry up.
Yeah. He's the busiest man besides myself, but yeah, we'll get him in this week or whatever. It'll be fun. I work 10-hour days with a hour and 20-minute drive to work. So.
Now, we were talking, which we have talked before, that not just you, there's a lot of guys that will, might sit on a car for a while. You don't think it's maybe as bad as what you think it is until you get it into the shop. You ran into that before Bristol.
This car, what I'm running here, was one of the picks to go to Bristol, and then it was a little rougher than I wanted to take. But I bought this car, 6-7 years ago, and had other plans for it, and then those plans fell through, and I just got tired of looking at it, and I was like, this would be a perfect place to get rid of this
Go
thing.
time. Yes.
The worst part, I haven't built an old iron in 5 or 6 years. It seemed like putting this one together, I had to relearn everything because I couldn't remember all I made some dumb mistakes. But it'll be all right.
we got to see the car, though. I mean, it looks good. I would definitely put that other door on there.
Right. Waiting for us to get that back from Zaire. It's hanging out in his shop right now while he's at a wrestling tournament.
I'm saying that his schedule looks like it might be getting a little bit more busy, too.
He's not the only person.
Wait till July. When he's promoting 4 derbies and hanging out in the hospital. And I seen another one from up around Harrisburg have some twins. Congratulations, Trey.
I told him congratulations or I'm sorry, whichever fits the situation.
We did say on the way up here, it's not like we've ever seen Trey do anything half-assed. Trey is all in or not at all.
They might have should have pulled back on that one.
Just a couple seconds, maybe.
Congrats, Rob and Kelly.
Being grandma and grandpa. again.
Gonna be 3 of them.
There's gonna be a whole bunch of midgets running around, without a doubt.
Well, what do you got planned after Bourbon?
The boss lady is sitting in the living room.
I guess I'm going to take a break until running every weekend in July.
Until Hell Month shows up.
Right. So I'd like to get started on them cars, or I should get started on them cars a little sooner than what I probably will, but Casey's looking forward to it.
I mean, I commend you for what you do for that month.
I told you, Dale is a really good guy.
Shit, duck.
I do it for Everett. He gets to run Power Wheels 3 of those 4 weekends. And come on, Wentzville, St. Charles County. Let's get a Power Wheel show in there.
No Power Wheels.
Nope. Their insurance don't allow it. But this year in Lincoln County, B&B Towing and Zaire Engineering be sponsoring the Power Wheels out there. Have Brad Roach coming out. Brad Roach comes out to the Warrenton show that would be on a Thursday night this year.
Is it raining already?
Probably it'll be rained out for sure.
It'll be canceled tomorrow.
And then Troy, and then Montgomery, and then he goes up to Bowling Green, which I think you all said last week it's a $31,000 payout.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's close to home, but I always run Wentzville, St. Charles County that weekend, so I'd like to go up there.
Now, let's get into that. You're telling me that a chance at 10 G's wouldn't possible to veer you away with that build style that's damn near close to what you are having to shop right now.
Yeah, I think I won St. Charles County last year, won $1,500. I could probably go up there and take 10th place in Bowling Green and win that much. But,
Yeah.
But Wentzville is kind of a lot of friends and family go up there every year. I used to run Bowling Green. They used to have it on Friday nights. I would run Friday night in Bowling Green and run St. Charles the next night. But yeah, I know they're looking for some teams up there for some good money.
The 3-man throws me a curveball
Right.
a little bit, which we have talked about that. Hell, we talked about that with Chad.
I seen somebody else post about a 3-man the other day for that mini truck deal.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I would say 2 or 4.
Yes.
I mean, 'cause
2's a good number.
Yeah, 2, and then like I think you all said last week, a 3-man show that takes away a guy from another
You're cutting
pair or
team
whatever.
out.
I mean, look at Jerry Baker. He's got his 2 boys that he can run with, but he wants to run with
Wants his nephew to
a
run
nephew
with,
to run with him, or whatever. And then it's hard to build 3 cars out of the same shop and work on them. It's a lot easier with 2. I mean, there's pros and cons of everything, so maybe it'll work out for him.
Right, there's the president.
Yeah, Everett's in here. Hey, Everett, tell him what you're going to be selling.
I asked him right when we got here, are you going to talk? Nope.
Well, down at Peoria, he sold his candy bars down there and sold freaking 10 boxes or whatever. And now he's going to have candy bars again this weekend in Louisville, Kentucky.
So, Peoria. I have Casey on Facebook as well, so I see a lot of stuff that she posts, for Everett and stuff. I commented on her post. She said that they were going to have plenty of candy bars, so I said, find me when you get there, and I'll buy whatever's left. Power Wheel comes over by the table, and there is no candy bars left.
We went around the pits and in Peoria, and I can't even remember who all bought them, but nobody just bought one. They'd buy boxes at a time or throw $20 in there. And there's so many guys that just threw $20 to them and took a single candy bar. And
Yes.
he's like, hand these out or whatever. And we'd walk around, hand them out to random drivers. And then he did that, and then they would buy some. And he ended up getting a little 2-wheel scooter thing. He rides around like a wild banshee out there.
I mean, that's the cool part. Is
That derby was badass.
yeah.
Yeah.
I wish it'd go back.
And then we had the parade that year.
Yep.
People cutting
St.
through the
Patrick's Day
parade.
parade. Yep.
Yeah, I stumbled out into that at some point. And was like, what the fuck's going on?
They started shutting the highway down. I need to go back and get re-inspected. Because you pull out of the pits and go up to the stoplight, make a left, go down the road, make another left to the next stoplight, and you had to pass three stoplights to get the tech.
I was like, man, my brakes are not good enough for this.
3 stoplights and 42 cops.
Right.
Because they were, when I pulled in, it was right at the end of that parade.
Oh, that was a miserable mess.
And I got to hear the immense
That first
ass
day.
eating about compacts cutting through the middle of the parade.
There you go. See? Proof.
Proof is in the pudding. Leave it to the compact guys.
Also, whatever, I need to thank everybody for all the pictures and everything they sent. Casey gave Steven and Derek a tour of their room. You got to see all the pictures on the wall. And that's
It's
not
almost surreal that, everybody banded together the way they did.
Correct.
I mean,
Yep.
there's really cool shit in there.
We had packages from 17 states. I mean, people from all over the country.
And they even hung the compact ones up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Everyone.
filler spaces.
Filler spots on the wall. But he got a couple of roof signs. He's got some trophies. Mark Klein got him, of course, t-shirts, hat, and hoodie. And he's also got a director's cut or director's notes from one of the episodes of Derby Builds.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Now,
Sam Bando.
one thing that she, the boss lady did ask, so like Stephen Sickles, Melanie Reed, see if maybe you could point Casey and Dale in a way of the hero cards.
Yes.
I know that's a big thing out there in
Yeah.
Indiana and Ohio with that. She'd like to maybe try to get some little bit more info on them hero cards.
Which
and
I wouldn't
stuff.
mind a little bit of info on that too, because I think it'd be cool to get a hard nose one made.
Yeah.
What, for another target?
That's fine.
Huh?
People can use them for whatever they want. I still want to pass them out.
Wait till you see my Bourbon Beatdown car with your old pretty mug shots on the side.
Well, we've got a pretty good track record of us being on cars with a pretty good winning percentage.
We do.
The
I would actually
wagon
like to
was
put a
points
percentage to
champion.
that.
Yeah.
Which I there for a while it was a cop out because I was putting stickers on everybody's car.
Okay, the bigger ones that I was putting on. How's that?
I think the first one was your all spaces on the side of my station wagon. I won the metric GM station wagon. I won the DLS points championship.
Yeah, that's the one that you sent the picture of, and we were both like, "Ooh!"
I was like, oh, you're going to die.
I don't know if I would have put that on my door or not.
That's Target.
We're gonna have to get one and get Casey laid up on there too.
No, but we
Justin
would be a
Broad-
Target.
Justin Broad had hooked me up. Wait till you see if I get Everett's new Power Wheel done, which my car comes first. Don't tell Casey. Sorry, Everett.
The only reason you said that shit because she just left the room.
But that Justin, I mean, while we're on that subject again, his
Guys,
stuff is just
unbelievable. I told him Fatty brought us some parts, me and Jerry Baker, some parts down to
Sturgis.
Sturgis down there at the team show.
we got to see this.
He's got the he's got the throwdown TV, so I talked to him. We got some throwdown TV stickers on the car, or will have on the car, and so yeah.
Well,
Tune in
he
to throwdown TV.
He was going to be on this weekend to talk about it. Fatty
sick.
is super sick right now, so
Did you know he won dent?
he did one dent. So we're going to let him get recouped, and we're going to talk to him about the Throwdown TV after Bourbon Beatdown. I think that's just going to be something else that's just going to, jump off the.
That's the other thing I like
Off
about the one-day show. I mean, again, affordables. I mean, you can watch the whole show for $30.
30
bucks.
$30.
Yep, 30
$30,
on your
and you
couch
can
at home.
actually order it right now.
Yep.
And you can have it ready. They did launch that. Man, and I'll tell you what, Capital Carnage is next weekend as well. It's Friday and Saturday. It's February 28th, March 1st. Stormont Vale Event Center. That list is stacked
It is.
for the Street Stock Team Show.
It
I
is.
mean, fucking stacked.
It is. As soon as we get back, I'll be watching that.
I'll
Yep.
be buying now on the way home to watch it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, that's what he said. He goes, "You drive and I'll watch it on the way home."
you want them Apple Play or whatever them kits are. You watch it on the screen.
Yeah.
Car plays, put it
Yeah.
on screen. Yep.
Safety first.
Safety second.
Bigger the screen, the less you
Say
have to
yes.
look to the right while you're driving.
Well, that was like whenever I went out to South Dakota. I watched that whole show, like all the heat draws and stuff, on my way out there.
Yeah.
He left my house. She watched the first and second heats
At your
and
house.
then left. And he was texting me, "Did you see that shit?" I was like, "Motherfucker, you're driving." He's like, "No, I'm not." I was like, "Yes, you are."
We went down to Sturgis to pick up parts. Jeremy, we left early in the morning. We were home before the show started. I was watching all the little clips on YouTube and Facebook, people sharing right there before I got home, and then watching it on TV that night.
That show is going to be stupid. I believe it's March 21st and 22nd.
And Robbie didn't
Wicked
plan
Teen
this
Show.
for March 1st. It was the date that was given to him. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
that-
he had no
to take it
choice.
on. Yeah, he had,
He
no
had to
choice
take it
whatever.
to get it for next year. Like,
So it's nothing against Smash It. Carnage
No.
is always a great show to watch. I hope everybody tunes in to Throwdown TV.
well, the cool thing about it is with DerbyNation.tv is you can go back and watch that.
Bingo.
Like-
Yeah, you got 30 days.
Yeah.
Right?
So if you want to order both of them,
Yep.
you get to watch all of it. And that's what I love about. That's why you've seen the internet chatter of people, oh, they're just trying to take over. Well, no, not really, because they can't be two places. They can't be everywhere.
Mark even said it to us that these shows where they have 2 shows on a weekend, it stretches them so thin
Uh-huh.
that he's afraid that that you as a consumer doesn't get the quality that they want to give you when you have to take
Half your production crew.
your A team.
If he could clone Steve and George High Note and all them guys. I mean,
Correct. And Ben and Billy and all them guys.
I'm looking forward to Throwdown TV with Betty and the TSL guys or whatever.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, we're getting ready to find out.
Yes, 100%. I'm anxious to get down there. I'm just ready to go to a derby, I guess.
Yeah.
Get out of here for a little bit and go hang out, get to see everybody we haven't seen in a while.
I haven't been to one since November.
Same.
South Dakota.
Next year I'm going to
Yeah.
Florida.
I'm in on that.
Casey likes warm vacations. I mean,
They having a derby in Mexico?
How the fuck are we getting cars there?
You can drive them there. Looks like we're running that MWFA
I was
class.
going to say, you couldn't drive 2 miles.
that's the other thing. I love Justin Broadhead decals and Jason Sauer be down there. I've had a couple cars painted for him. It wasn't his fault, but every car he paints is jinxed, whatever. No fault to him. He was on my derby bucket list to get a car painted with him, by him, whatever. I've had 2 or 3 now, whatever, but this one will be all lettered up by Justin. So, and of course, I'll be wearing my Triple B's tees down there.
Oh, yeah.
See, man.
We got one on right now.
That's what we love to see. We love to see guys on Facebook, showing us their Broadhead decal stuff, showing us their Triple B shirts and shit. That maybe one reason we're doing this is to help, is to promote. Do we enjoy doing this? Yes. Do we do it for a living? Hell no. But if we can take an hour and 10 minutes a week, hour and 30 minutes a week, talk with killer ass guests, get the word of these great products that are given to you as a consumer and as a derby driver and a fan, it's like we've done our job.
We all be like NASCAR and running my Fessler race engine's Pontiac with my Total Tilt Derby fabricated bumper, my GHE transmission,
and now I don't know what to do with my
my
hands.
Coke fuel pump,
No, it's
my Sky High steering.
like we talked with Jeremy the other day. You know, would it be awesome to just go home on a Saturday at 6 o'clock at night and watch a Derby on local television?
Right.
Whether it's on ESPN, MAV TV, whatever. Do I think it will get to that point? I hope so. And I think it can, with all the stars aligning and everything. We know we talked about Demo. Demo doing what they did in 2024 made everybody else up their game.
Right.
$100,000 to win shows,
No,
$25,000 Mad Dog shows.
And they actually paid out. It wasn't like a Charlie Perrine show where they offered $100,000.
I'm gonna pay you $100
Yeah.
and a Kit Kat.
Yeah, I had a good experience in Bristol. It was a long trip there.
That was a long ass trip. Not as bad as Dale's, but it was a long ass trip.
Well, Dale's just had a lot of detours on it.
A couple new axles on the trailer now, ready to head to Louisville.
Did you put some new tires on the trailer too?
Yep, got all new tires. I had that done the week after, or the week before Blizzard Bash. Got my trailer back on a Tuesday. Thanks, Andrew Link, for getting that done for me.
Now but that's the deal. What'd you tell us? It was probably too heavy.
Oh, yeah.
The shit that you had to take, it was probably too heavy. This is a one day, one and done. You know you do not have to work on your shit.
I think my Bristol car weighed 5,600, 5,700 pounds.
This one does not weigh that much.
Right.
This one has got 800 pounds less because of trunk pan.
Oh, you're a dick.
Okay, not
Perfect for this
800.
show, it's going to wad up just perfect. Maybe.
Just less resistance.
As long as it don't
Just
dump.
less resistance to the fold. That's all it's going to be.
Like I said, there is positives and negatives to the one and dones.
Right.
But in my book, the positive outweighs the negative. Because yes,
Okay,
heats do
hold on.
give you.
What's your negatives? Let's just say it right now. What's your negatives?
Well, if something stupid happens, you don't get a
That would be
chance.
the only thing that I think I would agree with.
Dumb shit
there.
happens and you go home with a unique car.
Right.
And then so, like this car with hump plates, I couldn't run it any of our local shows, but I could find somewhere to run it, and then probably to add a bunch to it to be able to run it. But
Or you could peel the hump plates off.
Cut
of
the
it.
hump plates off and
Which
go back and
sucks,
run a
but-
stock class.
Them being on the outside, it can be done.
right.
Yeah.
And they were done after the body was on, so that's real nice.
Right.
That was real fun last night at 1:30 a.m.
It's not like you have a rule where you can contour your humps first.
Right.
That changes the game. That's when you figure out, okay, I'm adding some shit because I am not cutting these bitches apart. Not happening.
Or the ones that were on the inside.
Yes,
Yeah.
them suck. All the way.
And I mean, they're like, I'm real quick to cut a car apart anyway. Like I will, and I'll scrap that bitch. Like I hate putting pre-run shit together.
Yeah.
We've talked about it.
I hate putting shit back in a car.
Yeah.
After you took it out and put
Yeah.
it right back
Like
in
my
it,
Bristol
you're like,
car, my humps are collapsed, but the front end's perfect. I never used it.
It was about time too.
Right.
like I said, we were all yelling at. I was yelling at the TV.
Well, I had been yelling at George for 10 minutes, and I was standing there. I was like, "Turn that fucking thing around."
Yeah, I need some NASCAR shit where some spotter in the stands. Hey, turn it around. Let's go.
Well, all they could give me down there was beer cans, so I didn't have anything to throw.
You've been known to do that.
But
No. What?
He shut it off.
He did too. After that bitch bounced off his dome.
it's like my trip out to Vegas. I just hope to come home with junk. I can pull my shit out of it and prepare for the summer. If not, I find somewhere else to run between now and July.
Motherfucker, you better duck. I haven't said anything bad this whole time, and both of y'all have been pimping the shit out of her.
Look at that.
See?
I didn't say nothing. Why you give me that look?
I wish you filmed this. We need to do a Facebook Live with Casey in the house.
There would be shit getting thrown there.
Now that we know where you live, we can come back.
Anytime.
I'll shoot you as soon as you pull up the driveway. Into the laneway. Don't come up the property.
But we better let Dale get to doing stuff.
Dale stuff.
It's time.
It is time.
When this drops, it will be
Yep.
go time.
Yep. We will be there on Friday evening. Boss lady said, "You booked a hotel yet?" He was like, "Nope." Taj Mahal it is.
Derek asked me the exact same thing. And I was like, I hope they're taking care of it.
I trusted Dale last time we went there.
Come tell us about that hotel.
Did you love it?
There was drug deals, there was pants, there was blood, there was
Fucking sounds like we're in St. Louis.
Luckily, I was able to get a hold of
Sounds like a party.
the Top Dog crew and drop my car off at the
Yeah,
arena
he
the night
was
before.
pregnant wife.
Well, Everett would have been a cool, better story if Everett was born at Freedom Hall.
Yeah, he's got
I
another
tried.
boring old hospital story.
It's boring.
You see the head on that kid?
77 hours with that asshole.
See, I was trying to send him right out.
No, we're going to let you guys get back on. Thank you for letting us invade your time and your space.
Anytime. Look forward to seeing everybody this weekend. Come see Everett. He's got his candy bar sign, $1 a piece.
Pay attention to that, guys.
I'm sure Hard knows about
$1 a
something.
piece, yeah. We'll probably buy some and
And
throw
y'all
that
can
shit up
share
in the
his picture
stands.
of all his pictures on the wall from all his Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
That is right. Yeah, we'll go in there as long as he don't hit us with some shit when we go in.
Oh, yeah.
It's been
I seen he was throwing down on a PS5 in there, it looked like.
Yeah, he's Fortnite king.
I seen that Wreckfest 2's coming out. So,
Nice. We'll hook him up.
he'll be junking some shit. Well, brother, got
Nope.
any last got any last words?
nope.
Make junk, boys. Fisher built. Fuel tanks are the next generation of fuel tanks on the Demolition Derby parts market to date. With stainless steel construction, every tank is internally welded, braced, baffled, and pressure tested, with 2 standard size options available.
Fisher built tanks have you covered. From your local county fair shows all the way to your national level events, where you need maximum fuel capacity and structural integrity to get you to the end. If you are in need of a next level design tank, or you just need a second fuel tank for your new setup, give Fisher Built a chance to earn your business. You won't be disappointed.